Welcome to the Change Your Oil application found on the Windows Phone 7. This screencast is going to show you how the application should be used. As you can see, it's on the main phone screen here. It opens up, and the very first screen you get is your garage screen. If you had data stored on your phone, this is where all your cars would show up. I will show that. As for right now, there is no data on this particular phone, so I'll take you through how to add one. To add one, all you have to do is click this add button up here, and it brings you to this screen. It's the add new screen, and it has several different options to it. By far, the most important one is the vehicle information. Here is where you can name your car, and really that's the only required one that you have to put in. You cannot display a vehicle without naming it. So just for demonstration purposes, I have a Mazda 3. It's a 2011. I believe it's got 5,500 miles on it. I don't know the license plate number off the top of my head, but just enter in information there. You hit this checkbox. The difference is here is what you're doing here is you hit save. It's going to bring you back to that add new screen. But basically, this is a temporary save. If you did not want to save this data at all, you would hit cancel, and all of this information would be lost. But save, which is the button I just clicked, brings you back to here. And as you can see, it went from add vehicle info to edit vehicle info. And if I click this menu option again, all of that temporary data shows up. Okay, but as of right now, the vehicle information is not saved to your phone on a permanent basis. To do that, you have to hit the save and update button. Okay, if you hit cancel, everything that you entered in will be lost. So if you want to save immediately, then hit this button. If you do not, then you can continue on. I personally like to hit save after every time I make a change. That's just the way I work, I guess. So I'm going to hit save. As you can see, now we have a vehicle in there in the garage. You can click on that and it brings you back to this screen. Edit vehicle information brings you back here. I'll go over this oil change section in a little bit. The next menu option is the oil information. Here, if you go to an auto store, to change your own oil, and one of those big books, that you're always tired of looking up the oil filter that you need, you would put in the oil filter model number. So the next time you go into that store, you could just whip out your phone and say, I know I need this model number. And this is an alphanumeric text box. You can enter in all sorts of information here. So whatever's in that big book, you can enter in here. Oil brand, again, if you are tied to a specific brand, you could put in whatever you want. And again, it's just a standard text box, and yeah, so you just put in whatever brand you want. Oil weight, I just found out that my Mazda 3 is a 0W30, which I've never heard before. I guess all the newer, smaller cars are going with that oil weight. And then, instead of looking up on your manual how many quarts your car takes of oil, you can just enter it here and look it up, and it's right at your fingers. Again, each screen has a save and cancel. This is a temporary save. If I were to hit this Xbox button right here, the cancel button, everything that I just entered in for the oil information would be lost. So again, I like to save after each menu. You don't have to. You could do it all at once, but that's just, like I said, that's just me. That's how I like to do it. I suggest you do it as that way as well. So everything is still in there. Everything's great. The next one is the miscellaneous information. Very similar to the oil information, but here, air filters have model numbers. You could put in whatever you want there. Tire pressures. This is, instead of looking it up, if you're at a gas station and you notice one of your tires is a little low and you wanted to fill it up, this would be a very good application just to bring it up and just so that okay, it's 25 psi, and it's just a helpful piece of information. The next one is your settings. This right here, in the very near future, will be where your phone will actually tell you, hey, it's been 3 months, or it's been 6 months, or you may need to change your oil because of the time difference from the last time you did it. And I'll explain how that will look in the future. But for right now, you could just leave it like this, or you could change it. Like I just got my oil changed, and he said I didn't have to change it for 7,500 miles, right? And that's about 6 months. So again, I temporarily save it here, and then it'll be in there for this particular car. You can have multiple cars with different settings, for each one. The summary information is basically just a real quick and dirty layout of all the information that is on for this particular vehicle. The current odometer reading, the license plate number. It's got all of the information that you need just at a real quick glance. Now, I'll get to the sticker in a second here. As you might have seen originally when I went back, this oil changed button appeared. And you noticed a couple of screens here, date of last oil change. Since this was a new entry into the system, there is no date of last oil change. We haven't done one yet. Last oil change, miles, kilometers, 0. So what you would do is, let's say you had to change your oil today. Let's say I changed my oil today, 5,500 miles. I would hit the oil change button, and what it does here, again, it takes you to that other screen so that you can save it. It's only temporarily saved. If you were to hit cancel or shut down your phone, the information would be lost. But basically what it does is it tracks the date that you last changed. And I realize it didn't change it for this demo because it's new data, but it does capture the date that you click the button, and then it also captures the date the miles or kilometers that's in this box. So if it's not 5,500 and it's 6,500, you would want to change the miles/kilometers before you hit the oil change button. Okay, so that is so when you do that, then you hit save. The oil changed information is set, and then what you can do is you can hit this sticker. Say you're on the road and you're like, gosh, I know it's getting close to that time. When is the next oil change due? So I put 6 months and 6,000 miles, and what it does is it gives you an estimation of the date that it's due. It added 6 months to today's date, and it added 6,000 miles to the current vehicle mileage, and it tells you what vehicle that you're doing it for. So this is just like one of those stickers that they slap on your roof of your car, not on your roof, on your windshield, and so again, it's all at your fingertips, right on your phone. So that is basically that. Here, the 3 buttons down here, like we've gone over, save and update. This saves the data permanently to your phone. Cancel basically takes you out of the screen, so whatever information that is not yet permanently saved will be removed from temporary storage and will not be saved to the phone. So if you're fooling around with it, testing it out, and you're like, no, I don't want to save any of this information, just hit cancel and it'll bring you back to your garage screen. This delete button will delete everything for this vehicle off your phone. Okay, so if you added a whole bunch of information, you had a whole bunch of history information, everything will be lost. So please be careful when you're using the delete button. It is, it's a permanent delete. There's no way you can get that data back. Speaking of history, every time that you hit the oil changed button here, what will happen is it will create a history item. When we hit the oil change button, it created an entry into the system of when the last oil change was and what the current mileage was at that time. And this is just a license plate number. So if you when you start building up a history of oil changes, this list will obviously grow. So that's pretty much that. You can add multiple vehicles here. Each of them have their own data. They don't get cross-contaminated. It's all very unique. So if you have any questions or any comments on this application, please feel free to contact me. You can contact me at my email address, jeff@webdev3.com. Thank you.